podcast is a production of Widener Law Commonwealth in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. For more information, visit commonwealthlaw.widener.edu/podcast. Now here's your host, Julie Sheldon.
Welcome to Widener Law Commonwealth's podcast. Today we are speaking with members of our library team. Today with us we have Susan Giusti, our co-director and reference and technical services librarian. Brent Johnson, our co-director, library co-director as well, and access services and reference librarian, and Ed Sonnenberg, also a reference librarian. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
We're kind of at the beginning of the semester. Some students are just coming in, and I wanted to have a conversation around the services that the library can provide to them. So we can jump right in. And why should students utilize the library? What's the benefit to them?
Quiet place to study, probably number one. Since you're hitting the law school environment running, you're going to be studying a lot. So what better place than in a quiet environment surrounded by your peers doing the same thing?
I also think the library is a good location to investigate what resources are available to them here as 1Ls. We have a lot of new electronic study aids available to them and other resources besides their text and case books, which they may find useful.
Along the same lines of the quiet place to study, we have a variety of study rooms that are available to students. And some of the rooms are actually outfitted with technology to do collaboration work. So that's a good way to showcase your notes and sort of work together and work on problems.
And how would they get access? Do they need to sign up for the rooms? Are there different sizes available?
Currently, we have 2 rooms that have the technology. We're expecting to get 2 more later this semester, so that will be ready in January. And there's no need to sign up currently to use the room, but we stress that if somebody wants to use it for those particular reasons, that they will get preferential treatment, and they'll be first come, first served for that.
In one of our larger rooms with the technology, you can reserve it for your study group of 2 or more people. We have a link on the library website where you can click on a date and the times you want and register it for your use.
And we will include a link to that in our podcast as well, the link to the library page where students can access that. And what are some of the resources available to students? You referenced those briefly. So I know that there's a lot of study aids, and can you talk a little bit about research assistance? I know that this can be kind of a lengthy topic because there are so many things available.
Well, we do have traditional print resources that are standard in the field of law. And in addition to the study aids and print resources, we have legal periodicals and journals. We have subject-specific books if students want to research in depth on a legal topic. And we also have the librarians here on staff who can help make your research a lot easier when you find you're spinning your wheels. Come to one of us, and hopefully we can make the research process easier for you.
And also in terms of exam prep, looking forward towards the end of the semester, you're gearing up for taking a final exam. And in law school, that one final exam is almost 100% of your grade sometimes. That can be daunting. And we've got a number of resources in the library that'll walk you through that from a mental standpoint of getting you ready and to the types of things you need to prepare for when looking toward such a huge piece of your grade.
And now are they electronic, or are they more in a book format, paper format?
Both. So if the book format is checked out, you can likely get the electronic copy as well.
And also for graduating students who are preparing for the bar, we do maintain print copies of past PA bar exams with sample answers to the questions.
And also, on the tail end of the exam period, we do have current and old exams that are on TWEN. So those are available. Sometimes the professors will give us their current exam as a reference to show what to expect. And then there are archived exams from previous professors and many years going back. So those are available on TWEN on the library page. With reference to the digital services, we do have a lot of online study aids now through West Academic, Lexis Digital Library, and then we'll be acquiring the Walters Kluwer Library probably the early next year.
Okay. Can you tell me, you mentioned TWEN, can you tell me what TWEN is and how students use it and how they get a password and how that works?
TWEN is part of Westlaw. So in the very beginning, when a 1L comes in, their orientation packet, they will actually get log-on information and passwords to 3 of our subscription databases, Bloomberg, Lexis Advance, and Westlaw. So Westlaw is where TWEN is currently, and that is where most professors post their classes with syllabus, tests, quizzes, things of that nature. And then we do have some people using Canvas also.
So it functions almost like an online Blackboard kind of
learning management
learning
system.
Management.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned a little bit about Lexis. Can you go into a little bit about what Lexis is and what it does for students? What students can find on Lexis?
Our library purchases for the faculty and students use 3 major legal research platforms, Lexis, Westlaw, and Bloomberg. So you'll have access for passwords to log into all 3 of those services, and they essentially give you the same sort of information: primary law cases, statutes, regulations, a wide variety of secondary sources to help you understand the primary law. So,
and what differs on each database? They have their own proprietary materials, so there may be certain books which may be on Westlaw and not on Lexis. Some may have databases of public records which are available that you may not find another one, docket information, items like that. So it's helpful to check each one of them out to see what's available. And Bloomberg is very strong in the business area, too, for business and securities information.
Do you find that students will gravitate towards one or another that they prefer to use in your experience? Or do you recommend that they kind of...
Well, they're all gravitate towards Westlaw because of the TWEN course pages. I know Lexis is used a lot because we're fortunate to have a Lexis rep who is in our locale who is on campus quite frequently for training sessions. I think the students gravitate to the one that they find that's easier to use for themselves.
Okay.
But they would do themselves a service if they become familiar with all 3 platforms, because when they hit summer internships or they get their first job at a law firm, they're never going to know which of the 3 platforms that the firm provides. So it would be helpful to be familiar with all 3, just in case.
Will someone in the library, or is someone in the library available to teach students how to use these resources? I know that they're provided with a password, but it's kind of tough to just drop in and know how to function and navigate the platforms.
Yes, all 1Ls have to attend mandatory 1L Lexis and Westlaw training sessions. And after that, such training sessions are offered, though not mandatory, by Lexis and Westlaw, and it's up to the students to attend. If they cannot make any of those training sessions, the librarians are available to offer any assistance that they may need.
We teach a variety of legal research classes to the 1Ls. So when we do those classes, we try and use and incorporate Lexis or Westlaw or Bloomberg into the structure of those classes to at least give them a little bit of an experience and sort of a using experience of what we're talking about in class. And then we'll do a problem and have them research it within one of the databases to kind of get used to just how it's structured, how you're going to search within those databases. And then we do one-on-ones that we specifically focus either to Lexis or Westlaw. But they can choose whichever database they want to use for the one-on-one, and they basically walk through a scenario, and they'll find cases, statutes, and other secondary materials to support their research problem.
And what types of questions or issues can a librarian help a student with? I think we answered this a little bit, but, is it general research questions? Is it, how do I go about practicing for or studying for an exam? Or what kind of things are you guys here to help with? Finding different articles. How does that?
Well, some students are looking for assistance on how to use a database. Some are looking for specific answers. We cannot answer a specific question that a professor has posed to them, but we can direct them to the correct resources to use and how to use those resources. And also some students are looking for seminar topics in which they have to write a seminar paper.
And at the point they hit the time in their education where they're doing seminar classes and they need a refresher on how to do legal research with Lexis, Westlaw, what have you, they can contact one of the three of us, and we'll be happy to have a one-on-one little tutorial or instructional just to refresh them.
And many students also ask for a legal research refresher before they go out to intern at a firm or at a government agency also.
And they also like to find out if there are other databases that we have access to or that they can get access to if they're not necessarily looking for legal materials on Lexis or Westlaw or Bloomberg, but they might want to use something like Hein Online, or they might have JSTOR or ProQuest, and we can direct them, which through our website and even Wolfgram, because we are allowed to use some of their databases, that we can direct them to those sites as well and show them how to use those resources.
Okay.
That's an important point, Susan, because not everything is on Lexis and Westlaw. That's one of the big fallacies that students fall under, is they think if it's not on Lexis or Westlaw that it's not out there, which is incorrect.
Could a student also work in the library? Is there student worker opportunities here?
Typically at the beginning of the fall semester, there are some both work study or non-work study position available to basically sit at the information desk, answer the phone, fix copier jams, and do some basic directional questions, helping patrons. And if anyone's interested in that kind of work, they can feel free to contact me either through email or phone, or just find me in the library.
Okay. And what are the library hours? I know that they fluctuate depending on season, but what are they currently for fall semester or for in-semester hours?
Regular hours.
The regular hours this semester are Monday through Thursdays, 8 a.m. to midnight, Fridays and Saturdays, 8 to 8, and then Sundays, 10 to midnight.
Okay.
And then during the holiday weekends, they can fluctuate a bit.
Okay. And probably one of the most important questions is how can a student get in touch with a librarian?
They can either come to the library, look for us in person. We're usually in our offices. They can email us, telephone us.
That information you will find on the library website under About Us.
And of course, you can just go to the information desk and ask for any one of us.
Okay.
And we're all open to make an appointment to see the student at their convenience, because we're all here at different times of the day, and we often will stay if a student has to work during the day and needs to meet in the evening. We're open to that.
Yeah, I think that, sometimes the most overwhelming thing for a student may be just getting started and just, taking that first step. So hopefully this podcast will function as a way for them to be a little less intimidated and be able to come on in. I always like to end with a fun question. And my fun question is, what did you binge watch over the summer and or what did you read? Anybody want to take the question first?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
I really didn't do any binging over the summer. I was fortunate to be able to go to France this summer for a language immersion classes. And I did do quite a bit of reading. I enjoy doing armchair reading, so especially books of traveling to France, to Italy, and as such. And I've been reading a trilogy by an English author of this lady and her husband who bought a house in France and renovated it.
That sounds
and
interesting.
their life in the local culture and everything.
Well, since I coach my son's youth football team this summer, I binged watched Friday Night Tykes, the Esquire documentary on Texas Youth Football League. I finished that, and I'm about to start Friday Night Tykes Steel City, which is based out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. So we'll see how PA football stacks up against Texas.
Okay.
And congratulations to Brent. He's a new father this summer, too.
Thank you,
Congratulations. Susan?
Well, I have to go along the lines of Masterpiece. I enjoy a lot of the Masterpiece shows. So I've been watching Victoria and, of course, Poldark, which will resume again at the end of September.
You're only a little bit excited about that.
Just a little bit. It'll be the 4th season in September, and they're going to do one more season, and that's it. And I have read most of the books, and they are very true to the books, so I'm glad about that. And then the Victoria series will pick back up in January.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming in and joining me today. To our podcast listeners, we will be back soon with another episode.
Widener University Commonwealth Law School is the Pennsylvania capital's only law school, with 3 specialized centers of legal scholarship through its Law and Government Institute, Environmental Law and Sustainability Center, and Business Advising Program. Widener Law Commonwealth offers an exceptional learning experience that is personal, practical, and professional. Visit commonwealthlaw.widener.edu for more information.